Welcome to the Empowered with Erika podcast. My name is Erika FB, and I'm an empowerment coach, mindset mentor, personal development enthusiast, and holistic health advocate. I've spent the last several years healing my mind, body, and soul, and have learned so much along the way. From healing trauma to navigating a sober lifestyle and learning how to step into my personal power, it has been transformational. If you are looking to heal, to be inspired, to uplevel your life, and become the most empowered version of yourself, you've come to the right place. I created this podcast to help you know you are worthy of rewriting your story and to help you navigate your own empowerment journey. You are worthy of living your most authentic, aligned, and inspired life, and I can help you get there. Whether you are diving deep into personal development or just need a weekly pick-me-up, I've got you covered. Thank you so much for pressing play today. I cannot wait to transform together. Let's get empowered. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Empowered with Erika. Your host, Erika here, and I'm really freaking excited to be talking to you guys today, especially about this topic. So I was unsure what to talk about, but then it hit me. I have been struggling with this concept for a little while now, honestly, probably for years, but more intentionally recently, it's just come up. And so I wanted to talk about it because I know I'm not alone. So I figured, why don't I share and we all kind of think about this concept together and maybe provide some encouragement and just help each other realize you're not alone in your struggle. Okay. So today I want to talk about feeling like the black sheep, feeling like the outsider. I don't know about you, but this has been a common theme in my life where I just have always felt different. And I don't mean different in oh, you're so special and different. I mean more I feel like an outsider. I feel like I don't fit in. I don't know about y'all, but female friends are hard. It's hard to have good female friendship. And I have a lot of acquaintances, I'd say, but not a ton of solid friendships. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel often the outsider, kind of this black sheep concept, but also just I can feel so awkward in social situations and so just misunderstood. And, maybe it's partially because I've really gotten a lot more spiritual in the past year or two, more like 2 years. I love my crystals. I love my manifestation. I believe in all this shit that a lot of people roll their eyes at, which does not help. So that makes me feel even more alone and more isolated. But I just wanted to remind you guys, you are not alone in feeling this way. I know I'm not the only person that's feeling this way. This is not a unique to Erika situation, right? And I think there's a lot of power when we own our individuality, right? So I want to just share how I've been working through this concept, right? So guys, for years, I have definitely felt kind of like the outsider, I didn't always fit in, and that's really hard. For example, when I was growing up, I went to private school until high school, and the private school I went to was really fucking small, really small. And it was definitely an interesting experience. I have some good memories, but especially middle school, it was a rough place to be. And I would argue that middle school was a lot harder time for me personally than high school. Probably because there was 36 of us or something like that, less than 40, more than 30. There was hardly any of us. And I always felt awkwardly in the middle of different social groups. There's the popular and the not popular and the, boys and the girls and whatever. And it's I had guy best friends, I had girl best friends. I was friends with both quote popular, unpopular, whatever, which is a stupid verbiage to even use. But that's how it was categorized back then, right? We're talking the early 2000s. And I just really struggled with that because I just never felt like I really had my place. I never really felt like I belonged, And then I go to high school and I definitely had a handful of good friends, but again, never really fit neatly into any group, in my opinion, I wasn't smart enough necessarily to be with the super, super smart group. I was in all the classes with them, but I wasn't in their friend group necessarily. Kind of on the outskirts, I do some stuff with them, but not really, right? But then I was athletic and I was in a lot of sports, but I wasn't really with the jocks either. I had a couple of really good friends and that's kind of all I needed, but I didn't fit nicely into any sort of clique, right? I'm just not meant for that. She different, she built different, always have been, always will be, whatever. But sorry guys, had to make a little bit of a light joke there. But even in adulthood, it still can be so hard and so lonely, especially when maybe you just feel really different from even your family. Like, I love my family, but I just always feel so different from my family. I have different belief systems. I'm a different fucking person, like different mindset, different belief systems. And that can be hard. It can be really isolating when a lot of the people you know just do not think the way you think, do not believe the shit you believe in. And it can just make you feel like, am I wrong? Is there something wrong about me? Like, I'm not normal. You know what I mean? It just can be really hard. And so, as hard as it can be, one, I just want to remind you guys, you're not alone. Okay. I know a lot of people feel this way. A lot of people struggle to make friends. But I really do believe that there are seasons for everything. Like, there was a time where I felt really lonely when I first moved to Arizona. I didn't really have any friends. I barely knew anyone. And as lonely as that time was, it also, like, one, really helped me learn to enjoy being alone. It helped me learn to enjoy my alone time. I always liked being in groups before. I liked going and doing things, and like learning how to be comfortable with my own self and in my own company is a very powerful thing. So if you're someone that like struggles with that, I honestly encourage you to sit with that feeling. If you struggle with being alone and spending time with only yourself, I encourage you to do it more. Allow yourself the time to sit in meditation, take yourself on a date, take yourself on an activity that you enjoy doing. Like, for example, I really want to go hiking tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm going to go. I don't know if I have anyone to go with, but I don't really fucking care. I'm probably going to go anyways, even if I don't have anyone to quote go with me, because I don't need someone to go with me. And thankfully, I've learned this skill. And I'll tell you right now, this is something that takes time to develop. I remember when I was living in Montana, I really wanted to go to Glacier National Park. And I had some time off that I could go. I had like a couple days. I think maybe it was a long weekend. And I really wanted to go, right? I didn't have anyone to go with me, especially because it was when I first moved there. I think it was probably within the first like 3 months of me moving there. I didn't really have friends. My roommate and I don't want to say we didn't get along, but we just weren't like pals. We weren't buds, you know? So I was like, all right, I could just sit at home or I could just fucking go anyways. I can just get my car and go anyways. Now, I will say this. Was it smart of me to do big hikes in bear country by myself? Probably not. Okay. Probably not the smartest thing for me to go and do, like, I think it was a 14-mile hike round trip by myself in deep in bear country, like in the fall before hibernation. Probably wasn't the smartest thing, but was it so good for my soul? Absolutely. It was incredible. And it showed myself I do not need anyone to be comfortable in this world. Like, I am comfortable with myself. And also, it allowed me to meet new people. Like, I met someone on the way back from that specific hike. Like, I got to the lake and someone else was hiking by themselves, and we decided to hike back together, and that was really cool. That was really fun, just like interesting conversation. Now, yeah, maybe I could have gotten murdered. That maybe wasn't a good idea, but whatever. I'm here. I survived. And then I remember at the end of that hike, we got downpoured on, and we like went our separate ways. But I was soaking wet, and I like needed food. I needed dinner, so I like asked if this restaurant would let me in, and they did. They're like, no, we understand, like it rained on all of us, it's fine. So I went to dinner, and then this like older couple, they weren't like old, but you know, like this older couple, like my parents' age, were like, oh, are you eating alone? I was like, yeah. And they invited me to like sit with them, and I conversed with them, and it was really cool. So when what I'm saying is like, when you allow yourself to go do the things that you want to do and allow yourself to be the person that you want to be, you are going to be put in situations that you are experiencing things you're meant to experience. And I know that's all like very vague and very like, Erika, what the fuck are you actually talking about? Like, can we just be serious? But what I mean to say is, when you allow yourself to really be your authentic self, you are going to get connected with the people you're meant to connect with. So, that being said, for example, one thing I love about Kyle is he loves me for me, right? I'm sure a lot of people think I'm fucking weird with my rocks and my crystals and my like meditation and my believing and all this shit. And he just like encourages me and is like, hey, have you meditated today? You know, hey, it's a full moon. Did you put your crystals out? You know, he just encourages me to be myself, and it's a beautiful thing. And I try to do the same for him as well, right? Like, we try to balance each other out like that. And I have a few other friends who maybe they aren't into what I'm into, but like they are supportive of me and they don't judge me for it. And I'll be honest, guys, I am actually noticing, as much as like this is a dual-edged sword. I was talking to Kyle about this like 2 weeks ago. I was really feeling like the black sheep. I was like, God, like I don't relate to anyone in this regard. And like, I just feel so alone sometimes. And like, it just sucks. Like, is something wrong with me? Like I was really like, is something wrong with me? And like, that's debatable. But I'm just kidding. But like, I was like, is something wrong with me? Why do I feel this way? Why do I feel so alone? Like, I have great friends. Like, I do have a handful of really great friends. Like, why do I feel like such a black sheep? And he's like, Erika, it does not matter. And let's just use family, for example. It does not matter if you think differently than your family. It does not matter. You do not need to be just like them. You need to be you. And here's the thing is when I have allowed myself to be just the authentic version of Erika, I have realized that I find people who love me for just me, right? Who support me for just me. Like my best friend, Caitlin. We are very, very different people, right? But I love her for her and she loves me for me. She knows that I'm going to probably drop the F bomb more than I should. She knows that I'm like into all my woo woo stuff, right? Just like I know that girl will always have the bougiest fucking like refrigerator ever in the sense of she buys the best food, she makes the best recipes, she teaches me so much stuff. She's gonna have the best like herbal medicinal cabinet. Like that's who she is. And I love that about her, just like she loved me for me. And when you allow yourself to be your authentic self, yes, people are gonna fall away, which makes it feel lonely. Like I definitely have lost friends. Like I have a different mindset than a lot of people and I'm fine with it. I've learned that I am fine with it. Like it's who I am. But